Hi guys, Cinematic Recapped here. Before we start, warning. Spoilers ahead. Today, I'm gonna explain an American drama movie, called The Mustang. This movie is based on an actual rehabilitation program in Carson City, Nevada. The movie begins with the fact that there are over 100,000 wild Mustangs still roaming across the United States. Overpopulation, limited resources, and the privatization of public lands threaten their existence today. Therefore, the government provides breeding facilities for thousands of Mustangs, some are euthanized, and the rest are sent to prisons, to be trained by inmates for sale at public auction. Roman Coleman is one of the inmates at a prison in Nevada. There, he is facilitated by a psychologist who will help him train his emotional control because if he is angry, Roman can hurt other people around him. He has been incarcerated for 12 years after banging his wife's head repeatedly against the wall, which leaves her permanently brain damaged, simply because she accidentally disposed of his personal belongings without his permission. In the middle of the consultation, Roman's anger resurfaces for some reason, causing the psychologist panic and immediately press the emergency button. Aware of his short temper and violent tendencies, Roman has resisted efforts to be reintegrated into society. Thus, the psychologist decides to transfer him to an outdoor maintenance program, hoping that if he socializes frequently with other inmates, Roman can slowly learn to control his temper. While working outdoor maintenance, Roman is placed in a rehabilitation program run by Rancher Miles, who assigns prisoners to train wild Mustangs. Each prisoner in the program is given a specific horse to train. However, his first task is to clean horse dung before taming the Mustang. One time, Roman hears a rustling sound from inside the stable. Out of curiosity, he inspects the stable and is immediately surprised that a Mustang rampaging. At the same time, Miles tells him to get out and says that it is the most dangerous Mustang in this captivity. Surprisingly, Roman is challenged to tame the Mustang instead of being afraid. The next morning, Miles and other horse trainers try to get the dangerous Mustang out of its stable. Meanwhile, Roman continues to stare at the horse with a look of admiration. After that, Miles approaches him and finally puts him in the horse taming program. If he manages to tame the horse within 12 weeks before it is sold at an auction, his prison sentence will be shortened. Soon, Roman begins to learn how to tame the Mustang under the guidance of Henry, an inmate who is considered as the top horse trainer. Unfortunately, taming a horse is not an easy job, even Roman struggles to get his horse to back off. Henry also tells him that if he wants to control his horse, he must control himself first. The next day, Roman's daughter, Martha, comes to the prison to visit her father. In the visiting room, she immediately asks Roman to sign the paperwork for the sale of their house in order to meet the needs of her baby after giving birth. Roman refuses, saying that she should ask her husband if she needs money for raising their child. However, Martha does not care and insists on selling their house with or without Roman's approval. According to her, her father does not need a house anymore because now he can live in prison with all his needs met. Hearing her daughter's statement, he becomes angry and pounds the table, telling Martha to get out of there. In the next training session, Roman and the other horse trainers are listening to Miles' directions. After that, Miles suddenly tells him to tame the Mustang behind him. As he is still emotional over what just happened, Roman desperately beats the horse with his hands, causing the horse to get out of control and nearly kill him. Fortunately, the other trainers swiftly manage to calm them both down. On the other side, he has to be removed from the horse taming program and is locked up alone in solitary confinement. When Roman is looking the horse outside from the small hole, the prisoner next to his cell suddenly calls out to him, asking for help to remove his stuck paper. Roman says that he is willing to help as long as the prisoner is willing to help him too to find a magazine on how to tame Mustangs. Having no other choice, the prisoner then agrees. Since getting the magazine, he has been studying it every night on how to properly tame a Mustang. One night, a prison guard suddenly wakes Roman and takes him out of the cell. While walking, the guard tells him that a nasty thunderstorm is brewing in the area. He asks Roman to move the Mustang so they can take shelter in a closed room. Unexpectedly, he manages to calm the dangerous Mustang according to the instructions written in the magazine he was reading earlier. The following morning, Miles gives Roman his training uniform, saying that he will be able to rejoin the horse taming program later. He then explains that he was impressed by how Roman tamed the dangerous Mustang last night. Knowing this, Roman must have been overjoyed at getting a second chance and promises never to hurt the Mustang again. Afterwards, he comes to the stable, but the Mustang still would not allow him to come near. After a while, Henry advises him to give it a name so they can get to know each other better. Roman suddenly remembers a great horse racer named Marquis in the magazine. Due to its similar nature, he also names the horse Marquis. Although he has given the Mustang a name, Roman goes to great lengths to tame Marquis. However, Marquis is initially unwilling to comply, no matter how hard he tries. Because of that, Roman is so angry that he wants to beat Marquis again, but on the other hand, he promised to be more patient. In the end, he can only sit back resignedly. Just as he is starting to calm down, Marquis suddenly approaches him without being forced. At that moment, Marquis teaches Roman patience in life. That night, Roman writes a letter to Martha, regretting that he has hurt her feelings. He hopes to see her again so that he can apologize in person. Later, he meets his cellmate, Dan. Holding a photo of him and Martha, Dan orders him to take the drugs from the medicine storage room while threatening if Roman refuses, he and his group will kill Martha. With that, Roman is forced to take the drug for the safety of his daughter. When he peeks through the door, Roman accidentally sees Henry taking the drugs as well. After Henry leaves, he tries to follow Henry's way of taking drugs, then rushes back to his cell before being caught. Roman continues to learn how to train Marquis every day, until finally, for the first time, he manages to ride the horse. Roman is very happy that Marquis, who initially did not want to be held by anyone, can now become more friendly. In fact, he keeps following Roman wherever he goes. During recess, Roman is informed that Martha has come to visit him. The two of them meet again in the visiting room. At first, Roman wants Martha to come to his auction show next week, with the hope of improving his relationship with her. Furthermore, he cries while apologizing to her because he has never been the father figure Martha hoped for. Roman promises to be a good father and will not hurt her anymore if Martha still wants to give him a chance. Hearing this, Martha also cries and actually wants to forgive him, but her heart still hurts because she had to lose her childhood. It is revealed that she had to take care of her crippled mother alone, while her father never came home. In the end, Roman regrets everything he did and says that he loves her very much. Unfortunately, Martha decides to leave him alone without saying a word. One day, when Henry is murdered by Dan, Roman immediately retaliates by strangling him into unconsciousness before they are dispersed by the guards. Long story short, the day of the auction finally arrives, where each inmate show the results of their training in front of many people. While Roman showcases Marquis to the auctioneers, his attention is distracted after he notices that Martha is not present at the show. Not only that, Marquis is suddenly startled by an overhead helicopter, causing Roman to fall off his horse and nearly be trampled for the second time as the other trainers restrain Marquis. Shortly afterwards, Roman comes to Miles' office and apologizes for what just happened. However, as a result of the incident, he learns that Marquis has been deemed untrainable and will be euthanized. Thus, he tries to help Marquis escape secretly by taking advantage of the storm-damaged prison gate, even though he knows that his action will increase his prison sentence. For him, Marquis' safety is the top priority because the horse has drastically changed his life. Sometime later, Roman reads a letter from Martha acknowledging her father's refusal to leave the prison. The letter also includes a photo of Martha with her newborn son, whom she wants to show Roman on her next visit. After Roman finishes reading the letter, he unintentionally spots Marquis standing by the prison gates and smiles happily. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.